to realize that women, most of the time, are the insiders. And they're the one who, to an extent, force men into this form of violence. So I think it's a double-edged sword, and we are all involved in it. But with this bill, of course, progress will be made and the problem can be tackled once and for all.
Of course. You shouldn't force us into doing anything we're not willing to do. But then, be careful, you're watched.
Anyway, I give it to you.
Well, over to the next story. The Gambia Priority Employment Program, GAMJobs, and the rolling out of the West African Quality Program's food projects are some of the success stories being celebrated by the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment as the year 2011 draws to a close. Fatou Jassi says the two initiatives form part and parcel of efforts to ensure access to quality foods and employment for the teeming mass of young people.
The Ministry of Trade, Regional Integration and Employment is not left behind in delivering on its mandate of enhancing trade and creating decent job opportunities for Gambians. The man under whose purview is the ministry points out some major achievements in the course of the FADE in 2011, among which stand out the GAMJobs Youth Empowerment Program and West African Food Quality Program.
All the projects that are under the ministry are doing well. So I think I have about 4, if I remember well. We have GAMJobs, which is into the area of skills development, youth employment, and women empowerment. GAMJobs has supported a number of women groups. Some of them have set up poultry farms, some have set up different activities, and they're all doing well. Youth groups have been trained, some have been given startup capital to set up their own businesses, and through collaboration with NEDI and NYSS, and these youths are also doing well. You will recall that GAMJobs also trained a number of youths to go into waste collection and management, and these youths have also been given equipment and they've started collecting waste in the Kanifing municipality. Youths have been trained and equipped with skills and resources, equipment in pavement blocks, making and laying of pavement blocks, and these youths are also gainfully employed. So those are some of the successes of GAMJobs.
The West African Food Quality Program, according to Minister Kohli, enhances the standards of locally made products and policies to support the drive.
We have the West Africa Quality Program, which is also a project that is funded by the EU and implemented in partnership with UNIDO under this ministry, which is helping us in developing a number of policies and legislations. They are currently finalizing the industrial policy. They have helped us work on a quality policy. They have also developed the food safety bill and a number of other technical assistance work in other sectors like, as I said, fisheries. They're helping us to set up the fisheries laboratory with equipment. They've helped us in setting up a metrology laboratory at Abuko, and these are all things that are useful if you want to be involved or expand trade in this country, because in order to ensure that your goods meet the required standards, you have to have the capacity and the ability to test those standards, and this is what this project is helping us to achieve.
With many portfolios like trade, employment, industry, and regional integration under its supervision, many ongoing projects are designed to enhance the accomplishment of each one of them.
The focus will still be on the implementation of these project proposals that have been developed by the Enhanced Integrated Framework, as well as continue to focus on the Growth and Competitiveness project to ensure that all the components under the project are fully implemented. In the area of industry, we will still continue the advocacy work, working with the private sector, encouraging them, and ensuring that the business climate and the business environment is friendly for businesses to prosper.
Looking at what has been gained by the ministry over the years, it could be simply noticed that much has been achieved. But that sense of satisfaction would not rule out the inevitable fact that much room for employment still exists. The minister is, however, upbeat that challenges of bridging any gaps could be squared up in the coming year. For Grts News, I am Fatou Jassi.
The fledgling local information society, movers and shakers in the information technology arena, led by the Minister of Information and Communication Infrastructure, Alhaji Cham, flocked to the Bigelow beachfront towards the end of 2011 to witness the arrival of a cable capable of maximizing our gains from the ongoing IT revolution. Minister Alhaji A. Cham is convinced that the $25 million Africa Coast to Europe submarine cable has the potential to revolutionize communication in the country. Aissatou Bajan Sal explains.
The landing of the Africa Coast to Europe submarine cable to the Gambia is a major achievement for the Ministry of Information and Communication Infrastructure in the course of the year under review.
We will be connected directly to the international superhighway on telecommunications connectivity. The project, as you know, will run right through from France and connect all the countries on the west coast of Africa, and all those countries will have direct connectivity. And then, of course, the bandwidth is also very critical. Right now, we do not have adequate bandwidth for all the services being provided at the moment. So when this cable is commissioned, it will give us more than enough capacity. We'll have excess capacity, meaning the services that will come in the maybe next 10 years or so, there will be enough capacity on bandwidth for us to be able to be connected to the international.
The Africa Coast to Europe submarine cable, which the Gambia as a partner stands to benefit from, according to the Minister for Information and Communication Infrastructure, is another milestone in the efforts of the government to transform, modernize, and expand the telecommunication infrastructure in the Gambia. The ACE project, which is expected to be completed in July 2012, will provide the country direct access to a submarine cable through a landing point at a cost of $25 million US.
$25 million, that is what the Gambia has, will be contributing. We've started making payments, and the contribution will complete towards the end of next year. But then what's going to happen now is we have got some funding from the World Bank, but then based on that funding, we have involved the private sector. And what the conditions are, we need to set up a public-private partnership. So we've set up what they call a special purpose vehicle, which is a company in a short, which will consist of the private sector and government. According
to the minister, the project is a significant one and will become a key driver in our social and economic growth in line with the Vision 2020 development goals. It will help increase our international bandwidth and improve broadband connectivity.
Services like video on demand, you talk about 3G, whereby you can be here, and then you all know about Skype and stuff like that. You need the bandwidth to be able to be online. And then it takes a lot of capacity. When I say capacity, the bandwidth required, the frequency, the allocations needed for those services is different, is far more than what you need for simple voice communication. Now you talk about data and the downloading of files, uploading of files. You see, we are moving from hardware type of system to software. Everything now is on the internet. Right now you can see people reporting using their computers. You can be satellite phones and stuff like that. Now if you have this connectivity, you don't need satellite phones. You have your laptop and then you just connect. Even Grts, you can use it when you're on bus, connect to the studio here and do your transmission without using very expensive or sophisticated equipment.
The submarine cable, Minister Cham says, has a 51% private membership and 49% government. And what does this entail?
We need to work harder, and we have to be honest in our dealings and operations. So basically what I'm appealing for is everybody to own up to his or her responsibilities so that together we will make the Gambia a city-state. Now, the role of the ministry is to ensure that we create the necessary infrastructure, communication infrastructure, put it in place so that all the services that we envisage in a city-state will be able to provide that.
The multi-million-dollar project, according to officials, is expected to revolutionize communication in the Gambia. With a minimum capacity of 1.92 tetrabytes, it is capable of supplying the network connectivity required to meet the needs of the country and secure international tariff. Aissatou Bajansar, GRTS.
We've come to the end of the first tranche of our first sectoral review. Watch out for the second installment. My name is Abubakar Dabo and
I am Ajami Sise.